they value themselves based on how many likes they get, how many people viewed their things.
Does social media, ruin your life?
Is social media the problem, or are we the problem? When should you stop posting if you really are going through something? Because it's not the first time we've seen people have mental breakdowns on social media. And
50/50 podcast. Hi everyone, I'm Yas.
And I'm Yel.
And welcome to the 50/50 podcast. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe.
We have new episodes coming out every Wednesday, so come back and check us out every Wednesday and also subscribe so you just get notified. So today we want to talk all about social media. And it's something we've touched about a little bit in our other episodes, but we want to talk a little bit more about just like how social media plays such a big part of people's lives nowadays. And not only their life, but like, I guess their character.
I mean, let's talk about Austin McBroom, the Ace family. I don't know if he still considers himself the Ace family or what, but okay, just saying Austin McBroom. He's been acting pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's been acting
Weird. I don't know if it's, in our other episodes, we've been saying he's funny. Coming from me, I said, oh my gosh, he's so funny. I feel like he's a comedian and all this stuff. And now, honestly, I don't know if I feel the same way about that. Just seeing how he's acting, it's kind of scaring me a little bit, to be honest. The way that he's acting, it doesn't seem like he's all there.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say the same thing because, like my sister said, we've been giving updates because it's something going around. Like I'm sure a lot of people are keeping up with it too. But I thought we were thinking it's so funny. I was like, oh my god, he's acting like just funny, like
having fun, like making light of. Just keeping it light, the divorce kind of thing.
Making the most out of his situation where he was just like having so many viewers on him. So I thought he was just acting funny to keep people entertained and coming back to his Snapchat and everything because he's putting everything on Snapchat. But now as of recent, it's been getting a little bit weird because it's just like it's continuing day after day after day after day. And he posts so many times in a day, which as a lot of people do on Snapchat. And now I'm just like, I really am wondering now if it's like an act or not. I'm like, is he actually going through something like a mental crisis or something? Because if it's an act, at some point wouldn't he break the act? Like in all of his snaps, in not one does he break the act. So I'm starting to think it's not an act anymore.
Yeah, and that's that goes to the topic that we're saying, like, does social media ruin your life? You know, is this ruining his life? Is he, I guess, showing a part of him that maybe he should have kept under wraps a little bit? Because I don't know. To me, it seems like he's in a mental crisis.
Yes,
that's what it seems like to me.
That is the thing about this. It's like, is social media bringing this out in him? That's what I kind of think sometimes. Right. Or is it just that maybe he is going through a mental crisis, mental breakdown, something, emotional crisis, whatever it may be, because he's going through a divorce. It's a lot of changes. A person can, express that in different ways, like frustrations, anxieties, anything that he's going through, right?
Right.
So it could just be that he's going through something. And so it like, brings up the question, should he really be posting stuff online? Should he maybe be taking some time to heal, but he's posting online because he knows, like, if he doesn't keep up with it, like, I mean, that is his income. So that's like one part of it. But like, there's sometimes people who are also like addicted to social media, So it's like, is that also at play here where he knows that if he doesn't act a fool, people aren't going to be watching or he'll have less views. So it's like that, like, it's kind of like a circle, but it's like, you don't know what caused it first. Is he actually just acting like this because that's natural to him and putting it on social media, or is it because of social media that he's acting this way? So it's like, what could it be? We don't know, obviously.
Yeah, we have no idea. To that. But that something is, now I see it, I don't know, I just saw it weird. And also, Landon, his brother, also said, seeing Austin snaps is making him sick to his stomach. Yeah. That also, when I heard about that, I was just like, now I think this is a little more real, like something is actually maybe happening to him other than just him being funny.
Exactly. And also Catherine too, somebody asked her and she just responded saying, like, I have no control over other people's actions, which makes sense. I mean, that's her ex-husband now, so she has no control over him, like, but it made me think maybe this is something really that's going on with him and not necessarily just an act anymore. And that also, like, makes me feel bad for him, because I'm like, if he's going through something, I don't know. But then there's the other side too. People say Landon always lies, like, not lies, but like he's part of the act.
He's part of the act.
And Catherine too. They say they're all part of the act. So like, I don't know.
In reality, I truly, truly hope that this is just his character. Like
Yeah.
this is his persona that he chooses to portray online. And it's nothing more serious than that, because it would be so devastating to hear that he has maybe something, he's in some kind of a crisis, because it's sad. It's sad for everyone involved in that. So hopefully it really just is him just being a clown.
Right, I hope so too. I really just hope so too, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm kind of waiting. I do like to watch his Snap stories and everything, so I'm hoping he just at some point is like, guys, I've been playing around. Like, I hope he just gives us that little bit, like, little
Yeah.
break, and then go back into the act. But like, I'm just expecting. I keep waiting for that. I'm like, I just want him to break character for a second. So we'll see. We'll see what it is. I mean, we always like to keep up with it. So, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it again in
Yeah,
another
yeah.
episode a little bit more. But yeah, it's just it goes into the whole thing about social media and like when should you stop posting?
Yeah.
When should you stop posting if you really are going through something? Because it's not the first time we've seen people have like
No.
mental breakdowns on social media.
Yeah, I mean, Fusi's another one.
Yeah, like Fusi, not so recently, but not that far in the past either.
Right.
He also went through like a mental breakdown. He suffers from bipolar disorder, and instead of posting on social media, he really should have gone to get help quicker. But so it's just like it's like the social media stuff. You don't know, like, or sometimes people don't know. I think they get too caught up that they don't know when to stop posting.
Yeah.
They get a little bit too, I guess the likes.
And that's the thing, the likes, the views. And honestly, it's the money. They see the
Yes.
views and the likes, and the money. I don't know. The money doesn't start rolling in right away, but they know that the more that they get viewed, the more people are interacting, engaging, they're going to get a bigger paycheck. So is that also playing a part into this?
Yeah.
Like, that's why they're posting on social media, because they're like kind of addicted to that attention.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's like a big thing. Like, it plays with your head a lot, like these likes and everything. Because, for example, for influencer stuff, that's their job too. So they are getting money off of that. So there's that whole aspect. But just for the regular people too, regular people who don't make money off of posting, it gives you some type of like
Satisfaction.
satisfaction. The more likes you get, the more views you get on something, it kind of like, they sometimes put their self-worth, and not everybody, but there's some people who
Yeah.
like put their self-worth on the line. Like, they value themselves based on how many likes they get, how many people viewed their things, how many people are replying to their stories or whatever,
How many comments they get.
I mean, like, I know people like that who are just regular people, just
They're not influencers. They're
Yeah.
not anything. They just are
regular
a regular person. Yeah.
just a regular person like you and me and like everybody,
Yeah.
and if they post something and like, oh my god, I didn't get enough, like, should I take it down? And I'm like, why? Just leave it up. So it's like, there's some people out there, not everybody, like I'm saying, but there's some people out there who put a lot of value on it, and it's just like, we shouldn't be doing that. Like, it's just social media, and just because people didn't like it or whatever, there's so many reasons now too, because the algorithm and everything, you don't even know if they saw it.
And this is the truth. Some people just don't have time.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be watching everybody's posts, their stories. I don't have time for that.
Exactly.
People have a life. People work. People have children. Or you're just busy.
Yeah.
You prefer to go outside. You prefer to read a book. You prefer to watch TV. You prefer to do other stuff than be on your phone, glued to your phone, liking and making sure, oh, let me make sure I like all 10 of my friends, because otherwise
Yeah.
I can't stand that.
Me too, I can't
Once I
stand
get that
that.
pressure of I have to like their pictures, because then they're going to come to me and be like, how come
Yeah.
you didn't like my picture? I would just be like, I'd rather unfollow you. Because I
Exactly.
can't have that pressure. Why?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were posting it for me to be liking it.
Exactly.
I can't. I don't
And there
want
really
that.
are people like that out there. I'm sure, like, you guys probably know somebody like that too, where they are like, oh, did you see it? Like, I posted a picture, you haven't liked it yet. Have you seen it? It's like I'm gonna see it when I see it.
Yeah.
But there is this whole part of it that a lot of people even talk about it too, like, with the whole being addicted to social media, because even not even from a creator standpoint, but just being a consumer of social media, we all spend too much time on social media. That's the truth. I mean, if you start to think about it, like, you don't notice it, but if you watch your screen time analysis, like on the iPhone, I know it has that, and like, it's crazy sometimes how much time we spend on our phones. And I know we use our phones for a lot more than just social media and stuff, so that plays into that number. But there's this whole part of like social media and like how it makes you feel after you consume social media and everything. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but I've noticed that when I'm on social media too much, I like to check in and look at stuff and look at like my favorite like influencers and see what they're doing and all that. But when you're on it too much, it kind of even like you don't feel good after you're done watching like hours and hours of like social media.
Yeah, I mean, I feel if I'm just sitting there scrolling and looking, well, number one, I don't like certain social media platforms, so I just don't go on some of them.
Right.
Just because I feel like it's like mindless. So
Yeah.
I'd rather spend my time doing something else.
Yeah, me too. And that's what I mean. Like when I say I don't feel good, I mean like when I'm done, I'll be like, oh my God, I just wasted all this time. When I could have done this, I could have done that. Like it's okay to take a break and like watch social media. That's fine. But like sometimes I'm trying to be more conscious about it now, so I don't let this happen anymore. But I've noticed in the past where it would be like 1 hour that I'm just scrolling, and I'm like, what? I don't want to spend my time that way.
In
I'd
1 hour, I feel like it probably went by like this. You didn't even notice that it was an hour.
Yeah,
It
I didn't
probably
even
felt like
notice
it was 5 minutes.
I did not notice it was an hour, and I hate that because especially me, I like to like really. I don't like to waste my time on stuff like that. So if I'm gonna spend an hour, I'm like, damn, I could have watched a video. Like I'd rather watch a video than just be scrolling through like different platforms.
In an hour, you could have done a workout.
Yeah, I could have done a workout exactly. So it makes me feel guilty of like that I'm just sitting there like doing nothing. And of course, like I'm saying, you have to have your break. So that's like that's different. But sometimes I just feel like it can like you just I don't know, you just open up like Instagram or something, and then next thing you know, an hour has passed and you just like wasted your time. So I'm trying to be more conscious about that. And ever since I become more conscious, I'm like noticing that I'm not doing that anymore. Like just like mindlessly looking at things. Like if I'm gonna look, I'm like, you know what, let me get on the treadmill. And while I'm walking on the treadmill, then I'll be like looking at social media or something, and it makes me feel less guilty because I'm like, okay, at least I'm doing like something productive, and not just sitting down or like laying down and seeing social media.
Yeah.
And that also brings up the question, with social media and everything, like, does social media enrich our lives or does it ruin our life?
It depends on the person, I think. I think a lot depends on the person. It depends on people's personalities, their who they are. Because there's so many things on social media that you can learn from. Right? There's so many things that there's different,
so many great things about it.
Yeah, there's like parenting advice, right? There's things that help your children with like helping a parent, right?
Yeah.
How to teach your kid to read at an early age, or like understanding different things, right?
Yeah.
Many different things. I can't even think of one right now off the top of my
There's
head.
like recipes, like quick recipes, like that you can see. You can see longer ones if you want to on YouTube,
Exactly.
or you can go places like TikTok and Instagram and just see like a short like clip, like real quick, like breakdown of like things to make.
There's organization hacks. There's like how to quickly, like, let's say patch like a wall, something on a wall or whatever, or
how to do your nails. Should they even teach you like different little like tips to do your nails?
Or makeup tips, the hair tips, like so many, things like that. But then there's like the negative side, I guess, would be that people then see that and then feel bad about themselves.
Yeah.
That they can't do that, or they won't look like that, or they can't be that way, or they don't have a house that looks like that.
Yeah.
They can't buy those things. So it depends a lot on the individual.
Yeah, I agree. And there's like you're saying, it's like so complex. Like social media isn't just one thing. Like, and it's just with algorithm and everything, just really depends like what you look at and what you like, and that just changes what you're fed, right? Like what you see. So that's so different too. And there's so many different aspects of social media. But that's why it's like is social media the problem or are we the problem? Because the stuff is there, and like it depends how you react to it. And like you're saying, some people really get down on themselves. They'll be like, oh my God, I don't look like that, or I can't do my makeup as great as that person or whatever, and it makes them feel bad. Whereas other people, it inspires them. And they're like, like she does her makeup like so wonderful. Like let me practice and practice every day until my makeup looks as good as hers does.
Or this could be the thing. Sometimes maybe even that's why I think it's a personal issue, not the social media thing. In general, it's you're looking at someone maybe who doesn't look like you. So you're trying to recreate, just going off of like makeup, right? You're trying to recreate a makeup look. It will never look like that because you don't have the same eye shape. You don't have the same face shape. You don't have the same hair. Even, your eyebrows are different. Everything is different. You will never look like that person. So you're kind of wasting your time then. And then if that individual isn't too, like self-confident,
right,
then they're gonna be let down.
Yeah, exactly. Because that just it just shows us you got to kind of think about it. Like I think it's for a lot of impressionable people, and it could be like younger people that are more impressionable, of course, where they, like you're saying, they think, oh, if I do my makeup, like I'm gonna look just like her. Like no, you're not gonna look like her. You're gonna look like you with makeup on. Like it's not gonna look like her. So you can learn and make yourself look however you want to look, but it's never gonna be exactly like that person because you're you. I mean, unless you have a twin, nobody else looks like you.
Right.
exactly like
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
So that's so important, I think, to like just like you're saying, I think it really is just, it depends on the person, because social media could be inspiring for a lot of people. Like, I know for me, I love watching like YouTube videos and stuff like that. And the type of content that I like to watch is like daily vlogs and stuff like that, and I never feel bad afterwards. I actually feel like sometimes when people go on trips, I'm like, ooh, I think about it, I'm like, maybe, one day I want to go there too.
Yeah.
Or like if I see where they go and I'm like, ooh, I'm like, you know what? I wanted to go there, but now I really don't want to anymore. Or, I kind of take it more that way. I don't really think like, oh my God, they're going on vacations again and I haven't been on a vacation yet, so it's like, it's just really how you perceive the stuff.
Right. And for example, me, I love to see things that are like home decor.
Yeah.
And like buying things like that, or even seeing people's houses, and that doesn't make me feel bad. Like, oh man, I wish I had a bigger house.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody would love a bigger house, but I'm like, how can I make my house, right, with these like cute little touches?
Yeah, like still make it cute. Actually, I love that about social media, because it teaches you a lot of things, like you said, like that maybe you didn't even think you wanted to know, or didn't even know where to find information. Because like when it comes to like interior design and everything, I am no interior designer, nothing like that, but it is something interesting to me.
Yeah.
And I never would even know like where to start. But seeing these people on social media, they'll like suggest, different places to get curtains, get rugs, whatever.
Get,
and you're like, oh
like
my God.
even paint,
Yeah.
You see a paint, you see some kind of how they painted their wall, and it's like a different texture, different stuff. And you're like, what is this? And I've always seen this, but I never knew what technique they're using or whatever. And then you get inspired and you're like, okay, I can do this to my house.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's how I got this whole idea of like lime wash. I haven't done it yet, but I want to lime wash like my room. Not the whole thing, but like one wall in my room. Like I have this whole idea for it. I haven't done it yet, but I need to like get the supplies. But that's how I got it. It's like lime wash or like Roman clay too. I'm still deciding between the two. But like that's where I got the idea from. So it's there are positives to it. But there are a lot of people out here who say like, social media ruins their life, their relationships, because they're just working towards these unrealistic like expectations. Because kind of like we mentioned in another episode, not what people's lives aren't exactly what you see online. Like
it's not.
And that opens up to like, when you have social media, whether you're an influencer, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, even if just your family's following you or just a couple of your friends, when you put your stuff on social media, you kind of start to put your life under a microscope.
Yeah,
like, willingly. You're doing that yourself, because you're posting whatever you decide to post. Some people don't like to post too much, but some people like to post everything.
Yeah.
And that also like opens a door for criticisms that sometimes people don't want to hear.
Yeah. And that, people don't want to hear it, but yet you're posting it, and then they're like, well, that's part of it. It is kind of part of it. Does the person, it's just so much to do with this. Like, do the people actually have to criticize you? I mean, no, but they see it as like, well, you're posting it, so it's kind of like, well, you did it to yourself kind of thing. But I mean, also, I wouldn't go there and just post negative comments on someone's thing. It's so much based on a person, how they're raised and everything, because if they really don't care, they're just hiding behind hiding behind a keyboard, and they're just typing things out. I mean,
people think they know your life when you put stuff on social media. Like, people really think, that whole culture too of like, if there's not a picture, did it really even happen, right? Like, if you didn't take a picture, did it even really happen? So I feel like that like transcends into like, they think they know your whole life, because I know like, even that's happened to me before, where I've like gone on vacation or something, I don't post one picture, like I don't put up one story, because I just don't want to, right? And then later when I'm talking to my friends or whatever, they're like, oh, you really went? Like, and they like kind of won't believe me. Like, obviously,
like, I didn't see it on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't see it on Instagram. Like, what do you mean? And so it's like, it's kind of funny, like that whole thing. And it's true. It's like if there's no picture, people don't believe you nowadays. Just, it's like we're just so used to seeing so many pictures and people posting about it.
But you don't want to share everything also, right? I mean, I know me, I don't want to share my whole life.
Yeah.
With pictures, it depends on the people, right? Some people I want to show my life to, and some people I don't want to share my life with them.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't want to share your whole life, with not just you, but in general, a person doesn't want to share their whole life, and they choose who they want to share it with.
Yeah.
They're not going to post it on social media.
Yeah, exactly. So there's always that, but people just think they like know, if you do post a picture, they think they like know automatically everything. So like that is like just something that, I guess it's kind of like the pros and cons. 'Cause people like posting, like I like posting on social media because I think it's so fun. I think it's nice to have like a community too. Once like people, are interacting with your posts and everything, I feel like that's like fun to do and everything. But there's always just that other side of like, with everything, there's pros and cons, that people might think that they know your life when really, even posting a picture, a lot of times people, you don't even know if they took that picture that day. They could have taken that picture another day and are posting it.
It could have been from the previous year, because some people, they don't have anything to post. Let's say, you know, these bigger influencers and stuff like that.
They have to keep up with their page.
You don't know at all what is the reality.
Yeah.
They could have taken that picture last week and they're just deciding to post it today because they're like, shoot, I need to post something, so let me post this and let me caption it this or whatever.
And a lot of them, I've heard from like my favorite influencers that I like and everything, that they even say they don't post in real time most of the time. Of course, sometimes they do, but they say most of the time the videos that they're showing, like the reels and everything, they're not done that day or anything because they have to edit and everything. So like they film it other days, and even for their stories, they'll like capture different things but post it later.
Yeah, and even I was gonna say, even for just safety reasons,
yeah,
I would never post anything. What do you call
if you have a whole bunch of followers.
If you have a whole bunch of followers, I would never do that because okay, they're gonna show up, you know, and if they show up, that's great, you know, they're your followers. But what about someone you have? A lot of people have stalkers too, you know, these big influencers. I've seen a lot of people that have came out with like these stalker stories, so that's scary.
That is scary because unfortunately that does happen. Like that one bad apple kind of ruins it for everybody because we know that most of the followers that they have would probably just love to see them, to get a picture with them. Like never in their life will they harm them, but there's always that, you never know if there's that one weirdo out there that wants to do something different than just take a picture with you, you know, that wants to do something bad. So you always have to just be careful. But I kind of love this whole thing of not posting in real time, though, honestly. Not even if you're just not an influencer, but just a regular person. Because then you can take your pictures, take everything, but you enjoy the moment.
Yes.
And then later you go to your house, whether it's that night or the next day when you have time, and then you post everything. So I really like this whole thing about not posting in real time because, I mean, if you can, and you can still enjoy yourself, do it. But like, for example, if you're at a concert, take all the videos you want to take. Because I know I love taking videos when I'm at a concert too, which I haven't been to a concert in years, but I love them. And then because I even like to rewatch it myself, just like relive the night. But if you're taking the video and then you sit there and you're like posting and everything, you're gonna miss like
you're
part of it, you know?
Yeah,
so it's good to just like take your content, do everything you want to do, but just post it later.
Yeah, and maybe even when you get home, you know, you're tired, whatever. Maybe you post something that you don't want. Maybe you kind of look a little weird or something, or whatever.
You were just in a rush. And you were just
or even like talking about concerts, you're singing at the top of your lungs.
Oh my God.
Like mute that.
Or make sure the next time you take the video, be like, do not
sing
that loud.
The thing is, like, when you take a moment to post, it's always better because it's just like don't react in the heat of the moment, you know? It's the same thing with the social media. Just take your time and then post it.
Yeah, exactly. And like, so a lot of people will say, you know, social media ruins their lives, or from the creator side, because sometimes, you know, people have claimed, you know, these big influencers that they like, I remember these daily vloggers, they said that they became like a persona because to keep up with their crowd, you know, and so they kind of changed themselves for what they thought the followers wanted, when really I'm sure we would have just been happy seeing themselves, right? But I guess they start thinking that that's not, they're not enough. Just being themselves isn't enough.
Yeah.
So I mean, the truth is, I think just, you know, be yourself. That's what I really think. And that's, I think just being, and that's what kind of, I think this new wave of people and everything now, because those YouTubers that I was thinking about, it's kind of like the older OG YouTubers where they would be like, you know, kind of like their energy always had to be on 100, like, hey guys, like every video, you know, and everything. And a lot of people came out like, I can't even think of their names right now, but I know Alex Wasabi said it one time where he was just like, it was so hard to keep up with his act.
Yeah.
And
Laura DIY.
Yeah, Laura DIY.
She was another one. Like Mia Sayoko.
Yeah.
A lot of those, like that. That era of like the super saturated things.
Yeah.
They wanted to grow up. At one point, they were also tired of that act, so they were just like, it's tiring.
Yeah, they felt kind of trapped.
Trapped, and so they had that shift that they had to make.
Yeah.
You know, for them and for their audience, I think it was a little bit difficult. But then once they got over that hump, they were like, oh, finally, you know, finally I can be myself.
Right. And I think just being yourself, just being genuine, I think that's what people like to see anyways.
So. And people also grow up. So that's the thing. They were like that at one point. That was probably their true selves up for a moment. And then they're like, man, now I'm, you know, I don't know how old they were, whatever. Right. I'm this age and I just don't want to act like that anymore.
Exactly. And like, it's okay because, I mean, their viewers are growing up with them too.
Exactly.
Like we grew up too, you know, and it's like, if their interests change, you know, maybe ours did too. So yeah, I just, I think it's like so dependent on the person, but social media shouldn't be ruining our lives out here. It should just be something here to be fun. You know, you check things out to be fun. Don't ever let it bring you down. Like, and if you are ever following somebody or an account, like whatever, a page, a YouTube video, whatever it is, and it doesn't make you feel good, like you start feeling like, you know, oh my God, like I'm less than or whatever, then click out of that video, stop watching that person, stop following that person.
Unfollow. Yeah. It shouldn't be that detrimental to you or to them that you unfollow them. Yeah, it really shouldn't.
It won't be. and it's better for your own mental health. Like if
Yeah.
you've seen somebody's page and seen like, even if whether it's their happiness, their sadness, whatever it is making you feel some type of way, don't follow them.
Yeah.
That is the best thing to do. Protect your, your mental health, your emotional well-being and everything, and just, take everything, like make it just fun. Make social media fun. Find the good parts in it, things that you like, and follow those accounts. Give those accounts likes and stuff like that, so then you can, keep getting fed more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best thing. Unfollow those people.
Yeah, for real. It's just, it shouldn't ever ruin your life. Like we were saying, it should never ruin your life. It should.
You should only feel good.
Yeah. If anything, should like inspire you or make you, learn new things, or make you laugh at the minimum. Just make you laugh and whatever, like, entertain you.
Keep it light. Don't get too involved in that. Don't get too deep into it, because it shouldn't be that deep. It's social media.
Yeah, exactly. I think, it's there's dark parts to everything, and I think it like started taking a dark route for some people, but don't let it, take you down that way. But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We just wanted to talk a little bit about social media. I'm sure there's so many more topics we can go into when it comes to social media, because it's like, so many different things about social media, so many platforms nowadays.
Yeah.
It's just like they keep popping out, and like definitely, all these short form, a lot of platforms out there. So, so easy to consume so much social media. But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe.
And we will see you guys in the next episode.
Yep. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.